you'll receive a tripod that will be folded. Much like this. The tripod has 3 legs. You have a knob on the side. Before you unfold the legs, you want to first loosen the inside tube. It goes into the tripod. Bring it up to where you can just grasp it with one hand. Tighten the knob. Take the tripod in one hand. Take the machine in the other. If you're left-handed or right-handed, just kind of depends on which side you want to flip the machine. On the bottom of the machine, you're going to see an area where you can fit the tripod into. There's a little opening here, we call that a keyhole. The top of the tripod has a little raised portion that will go inside that. You turn the machine, I like to rest it on one of my legs with one hand. Take the tripod, insert it, and then turn the tripod counterclockwise or away from you. You'll hear an audible click. That means that the machine is locked in place and it should not come off the tripod. Now take the machine, hold it with one hand underneath, and bring the legs down. You want to do this down towards the floor, away from your upper body. Once you've locked all 3 legs in place, set the machine on the tripod. You want one leg in between your legs. So one leg pointing towards you. The height of the machine should be approximately this level. Notice as I place my hands on the keys that the flat part of the upper part of my hand is flat, parallel with the floor. The machine is not resting on my legs, it's rather close. But if you have big legs, then you want to raise your machine up a little more. The hands are resting on the keys, like this, slightly curled, the fingers. The thumbs rest basically on the AO and the EU keys. 4 fingers of the left hand are resting on SKWR. 4 fingers of the right hand are resting on RBGS. When you stroke the keys and you move one finger, the other fingers are going to sort of come up off the keys. The idea is to keep them as close to the keys as you can. The book says don't let your fingers rest on the keys, but I want you to rest your fingers on the keys as you begin to learn the keyboard. So as you push the S, notice the fingers, the 3 fingers, sort of move a bit. If you go up to T, and I'm pushing the T key, the P, the H, the S, the K, the W, R, now the thumb, A, O. So by keeping the fingers slightly curled, you keep them compact and you have the thumbs up close to the vowel keys here. The right 4 fingers are on RBGS. Same thing, you push R. You want both hands on the keys. Don't lift one off as you write with the other. Keep them both on the keyboard. The machine has a screen that swivels up and down. When you swivel the screen up, your on button is here on the left. You press it, your machine boots up, your screen comes on in a few seconds, you get a wave screensaver there. Now you're into the actual screen, the things that you're going to see and use on the machine. Be sure you watch your tutorial. It tells you all about the machine. That will either be on the CD that came with your machine. There's also a tutorial on the course site. Notice that my machine is plugged in. On the back of the machine you have an area in which you can plug the machine in. When you plug your machine in, if you'll look at your screen, you'll see in the upper left little bands of yellow and black moving from left to right, and you will see a little icon in the shape of a battery. That means your machine is charging. The area with the blue and the white band, that's how much memory capacity you have in use. So as the blue band disappears and becomes more and more white, means you're filling up the memory on the machine. Now I am currently in writing mode to where everything I write on the machine is going to be stored in memory. You can also write on the machine in what's called test mode. So be sure you check your tutorial to find out about test mode. When you write in test mode, you see and do everything that you normally do on the machine, except it doesn't store anything in the memory. And that's a good mode to write in when you're just practicing and you're not really wanting to save anything on the machine, or, for instance, do an assignment in kind of practice that you would turn in. You could do it in test mode. The machine height, you can bring the machine up pretty high, but not too high. The tripod is designed not to come up too high. Now that's a little bit high for me, so I'm going to bring it down just a bit to right about here. Just kind of play around with it until you figure out a good height. Right there. Notice that my hands are not crimped this way to where my wrists are bent. My hands are just very loosely on the keys. You don't want to write like this. You don't want to bring your legs up and write with your hands resting on your legs. You want there to be space between your legs and your hands. You don't want your arms all the way back here and writing where the machine is very close to you. You want the machine out a little bit away from you, and so that you can sort of reach a little bit, but not too much. You don't want the machine too far away and your arms extended. So as you bring the machine in, look, watch my arms as I'm grabbing the machine. They're starting to bend at the elbow. So that's about the right location for the machine. Fingers slightly curled, resting on SKWR, RBGS is your home row. The thumbs are resting on the AO key for the left thumb and the EU keys for the right thumb. This is the hand position machine setup for the Wave Writer.